Right. 30 days. 30 days to complete. It's fucking shit. So have a look at this. So I have, 10,000 cards in here. Why isn't this? Oh yeah, there we go. 12,000. So apparently, it's gonna take me 30 days, right? But actually, it's gonna take me 90 days because I'm gonna add more. So I'm learning Finnish, Japanese, and Russian right now, and these languages have like zero shared vocabulary. So as a result, I have to learn like a lot of words, and yeah, I already know the other ones, so I only make like a few cards for Portuguese and Spanish because when I basically can't find new words unless I'm like reading a book. So if I'm just talking to people, I'll only maybe make a new card every like 15 minutes. Um, but yeah, so for the other ones, I also have a writing deck, which I've already done most of. So, um, yeah, so I already know how to write in the sense of like I can write a character, but I can't. I'm not good enough to actually think of complete sentences and write them down without like errors and having it be like a good. Like I can't write a good essay, right? But anyway, the point is I know how to write these like here. Let's go look at one. Whatever. This is a four character idiom, so then I would write this. Anyway, so for these other ones,
Toivottavasti opitte jotain uusia.
like YouTube. But yeah, the best source that I have is from Discord. So like if somebody's talking to me on Discord, then I actually just record them, and I have a short replay of what was said. So there's a key binding. So if somebody's talking to me, I'll save what they just said, and then I'll transcribe it with AI, and then make a card out of whatever word I didn't know. And yeah, so for Finnish and Japanese and Russian, I can basically make a new card as fast as I can make a new card. So like I'm at different levels, but like they're all different variations of like not that good. So as a result, there's basically a new word in every sentence. It's just that in Finnish there's like a bunch of new words, and in Japanese there's like one new word, and in Russian it's like half the time there's a new word. But either way, you know. So yeah, what I kind of wonder about, I couldn't find anything about how many words like a human being can learn per day. I can only find what like kids naturally learn per day, and kids naturally learn like 7 words per day. And if they are bilingual, they learn like 3 per language, right? Some kids learn like way less. Like some bilingual kids only learn like 3. But either way, like the development of kids is pretty even. But kids aren't using Anki. So yeah, basically what I decided is the number of words you can learn per day is proportional to how much time you spend learning words. So, and it's also a big factor is like how much you pay attention and try to learn them, right? So, yeah, I'm not going to be using any mnemonics, but I will be basically trying to learn the words. So the only trick that I'm using is low retention, because I'm trying to learn a lot of words, and I want to. I recognize that learning a word that's easy to learn is more worth it than like spending double the time to learn a hard to learn word when I could have learned 2 easy words. So I have the leech threshold set to the lowest reason, like the lowest theoretical value you could have it be at, which is 3, right? So that means that and for my step, so basically when a new word comes, I can keep failing it until I get it right, and then it's like moved into a new stack. And then if you fail it 3 times in a row, it's gone, right? So like the point of Anki is as you know the word more, it tries to guess when you're about to forget it. But so you need to be able to fail a card, right? You need to be able to fail a card and have it come back and be able to fail it again, right? Because Anki needs feedback to know when to show you the card. So 3, I think, is basically the lowest, right? So the other trick is to have the desired retention be the lowest reasonable value. So there's these, with the new algorithm, it shows that there's basically no difference between anything that's less than 75% retention. And as you go up a little bit, there's like, you spend a tiny bit more time, but you get like way better retention. So anyway, I just have it set at 75%, which is like the lowest possible value you could set it to without it just being completely pointless. Because if you lower it even more, you spend just as much time doing reviews and you don't remember the word as well. Because you're basically not seeing it often enough to remember it, I guess. So anyway, how long is this going to take, right? So it basically takes, if you do 300 cards per day, then it takes 30 days to learn 10,000 cards, right? So if you want to learn 10,000 cards per language and you got 3 languages you want to do them in, it's going to take 90 days, right? So summer break. But anyway, so there's this, what is it, deck options? Alright, let me make sure this is recording. It's not. Hang on. Is this working? Does it fade? That didn't work. Alright. Oh, now it's recording my recording software. Alright. Whatever, so here we are. So you can simulate. Okay, whatever. Simulate. It didn't work. No cards to simulate. What? So there's going to be 20,000 new cards. Bam. Okay, so basically here's how long it takes. I'm in this Discord where people like submit their Anki, how much they've done. There's like 5 guys in there that all do 1,500 reviews a day. So even doing this, which I think seems pretty insane, it's still less reviews per day at the peak than these guys are doing every single day. So anyway, what's this look like in time? So yeah, like 7 hours. So for the first like month, it'll be like 4 hours. And it goes up to like 7 hours a day, which is going to be super freaking tedious, and then it's going to drop off. So the first experiment I did was for Finnish. So for Finnish, I decided I would just do 1,000 cards, because I was able to make 1,000 cards in the Discord by recording them. So I just banged them all out. Looks like a lot of them got suspended. So yeah, so I banged out. I didn't actually do a whole 1,000 apparently. I only did half, or yeah. So that went pretty well because let's see, my retention is fine. You know, it's like, well, it's based on what you select, right? So it's always going to be whatever you choose. So yeah, I mean it works, right? So I did that and I was like, well, if you can learn, I think I was doing like 200 a day of just Finnish cards, and I don't know Finnish very well at all. So like I'm not sure what I was memorizing. You know, I'm just memorizing like a word. So that is basically the plan. So we'll see if that's possible to do. Okay, so the only thing about this, so the number of words you learn is not limited, but what you're learning is kind of strange, right? So it's like if you were going to try to memorize a poem, but instead of memorizing the poem where you memorize like the first part, or I don't know, the first verse, and then at the end of the first verse you want to remind yourself the next verse, and then remind yourself the next verse from that verse, and that's how you like connect these into memorizing a whole poem. But this is like, you have something on the front of your card that's basically random information, and this reminds you of the language's word. But that random information is not the thing that happens when you encounter the word in another context, right? So I feel like these words, you you mostly only learn them in the context that they are in inside of Anki. So if the word is like someone's talking in a conversation, it's likely that you'll remember it when someone says it again in a conversation. Or if it's written, if it's from like a book, maybe you'll recognize, or if it's a kanji, maybe you'll memorize the reading. But I don't think you get a general definition of learning a word by doing this. So I think you get, even if you do 30,000 words like this, you still have to actually acquire the language once you have the words learned in this kind of bizarre way. So I actually know someone that does that number of reviews per day. And the funny thing about him is he does a lot of those reviews in English, right? And he never understands what I'm saying in English. It's like ridiculous, right? It's like, how do you have like a giant Anki deck in English, but you can't understand me? But it's because the deck is not, right? It takes up so much time to bang out that many cards per day, and if you're doing that every single day, it means there's no actual time to engage with the language. It's kind of, it's like, why would you learn English, right? It's because English is the language of all the cool shit. So it's kind of weird to just be an Anki all the time to learn it, you know? Just go do all the cool English stuff, you know? Anyway, so yeah, this is the plan.